2019 drew to a close, the fashion tide seemed to be turning in favor of sustainability. Now, that was all the way back in 2019. I mean, after years of advocacy and education by activists, garment laborers, small brands, independent journalists, and many more people, fashion finally began to acknowledge the need for a more environmentally friendly and conscious and socially acceptable way of making clothing and styling them. Then 2020 happened, and suddenly the industry was plunged into crisis. COVID-19 spread throughout the wider world on a timetable that eerily mirrored fashion month's progression. Well, with the new normal, there could be an evolution in fashion trends. However, the big question is, could the COVID-19 pandemic make fashion more sustainable? Well, we would walk through this and analyze some of the best looks from all, fashion season. I'm talking about Paris Fashion Week, all virtual. We have Ijeoma Agwu in the studio with us. She is a Nigerian-based fashion stylist, and I am so excited to have her on the show. But before we get into today's chat, I like that video. She's not just a stylist, she's a rapper as well. So here is how Ijeoma Agwu mixes styling and rap together. Take a look.
Give you the bounce lady flavor. And if you're not one for colors like orange, pick a color from your 50 shades of storage. Look for blazer off, just a shirt and tie. A look so sharp, we ain't here to comply. Look 3, tie off, keep your white shirt on. Unbuttoned but dressy, let's keep the flow on. Add 2, shirt off, but no nudes please. Put on the belt for the extra squeeze. All layers off and bringing it back to 1. 5 ways to style your jumpsuit, the class is done. Yeah, to get more of your style inspiration, follow me and become a style sensation. Yeah, it's IJ sounding out one time. What? Check it up, check it up, check it up, check it up, check it up. It's your girl with your dose of style inspiration. Style a pleated skirt, your next education. Put on the skirt and layer with a slip dress to create a new look that's sure to impress. Look 2, take it easy, tuck in a tee. Pair it with heels, classy, look guaranteed. Look 3, up the style with a wardrobe staple. White shirt so fluid, from simple to graceful. Look 4, take it up a notch with a white blazer. Nothing wrong with sophistication and some major flavor. Look 5, still a blazer, but we going sleeveless, just to show you how your options are limitless. Look 6, unconventional with a shirt dress. Not your waist with a belt for a huge success. Final look, turtleneck with a black beret. Pair with your brogues and you're gonna still slay. So check it to get more of your style inspiration. Follow me and become a style sensation. It's IJ signing out one time. What?
So there you have it, fashion and rap mixed together. IJ, it's great to have you. I mean, I know that's what you like to be called, so that's what I'll address you as. Now, walk us through this video. I enjoyed watching it.
Thank you.
Not for nothing. First of all, it's not just the usual. So you first of all have to wear a black tie, and then people talking. This is you rapping and styling simultaneously.
Yeah. So, I mean, thanks, Kachi, obviously, and it's great to be here. I've admired your show for a really long time.
Thank you so much.
The video is inspired by my love for music and fashion. So I come from a family of artists. So I grew up on music like that, 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. And I thought, why don't I do something different with my love for art? So I decided to combine both music, fashion, style into one video, and voila.
Well, I think it's very, very smart. I think it's very quick to get the message out there. But now let's talk about the COVID-19 pandemic. I think your videos were very COVID compliant as well.
I was the only one in here.
Exactly. Period. So basically, how would you assess how style has evolved since this pandemic began? I definitely know it has changed, but for a stylist, what's the difference?
I mean, before the pandemic, we had to go to work, we had to step up our game and all of that. So the heels were out, the blazers, the tight pants, and etc. Now, with the lockdowns that happened, people had to stay at home and work. And to still maintain that feel like, I'm not in my PJs, people had to resort to stuff that was in between staying at home and fashionable. And so you see the fashion industry had to modify and adapt to the pandemic and the lockdown. So where we had to ditch our heels and our blazers, then came in athleisure, then came in loungewear, then came in, lots of joggers, sweatpants, tracksuits that people could still wear out, and still stay indoors and work. And we had to go on Zoom like a lot of times. So we're all focused on dressing from the waist up. And that's all we just kind of did, So it's really changed quite a bit. The spending habits have dropped considerably because it's like, where are we going? And obviously because the economy has been impacted and people's buying power has significantly reduced. So you see that there isn't a lot of buying on the high street, high street fashion. But compared to the high-end fashion, I mean, the designers are still rolling out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We saw Chanel. I think for me, when I went through Chanel's haute couture collection for spring summer, I was just saying to myself, I want it all. I want everything. Just bring it. It looks really good. But
it does.
I'll be honest with you, it seemed a tad bit different.
Yeah.
One, because it seemed a lot more simple.
Yes.
It wasn't as extra. It was still as stylish, still as classy. So for fashion buyers, people who love fashion, would you advise it is unreasonable to spend a ridiculous amount of money on styling or on buying new items? Because like you said, Zoom meetings, sometimes I'm in nothing under and I'm just wearing like a really nice blazer and t-shirt, but there's really
exactly.
So is it realistic to still do things like that? And where does that now leave the fashion brands who still want to make money?
I mean, I think the high-end fashion, even though they have been impacted a little bit, but they still have their customers, because with or without a pandemic, if you want your Gucci bag, you get your Gucci bag, and you still rock certain pieces that are designer out, even if you don't need to go grocery shopping. But I would say that each one to his own. For example, it depends on your buying power. I think if you check it and you find that it's not realistic for you to splurge if you've, had a job cut or a pay cut, then yeah. So I think it depends on your context, depending on your pocket. But I would say that the designer customers, the high-end fashion customers and clientele, they still have those. I mean, check, for example, J.Lo, she's not affected by all of this. So, they have their clientele, and that business is still booming for, their direct customers. But for us who may think before we buy a Gucci bag, we might have to check, the paycheck coming in. So I think it's relative. I think it depends on the individual, and I wouldn't say it's unrealistic or maybe it's illogical to spend. I think check your pocket. If it's fine, it's fine.
If it's fine, it's fine. Now, one thing we've also noticed within the pandemic is events have practically shut down. So as you would normally see, red carpets are the one place where you just watch and you want to see, what's Cardi wearing, what's Lady Gaga wearing. The Met Gala 2019 was just the fashion, we saw how amazing the looks were. But then come 2020, all these events cancelled. And now there are designers that are tailored towards clothes like that. So now that we don't have these events, a lot of the events are virtual. We're looking forward to the Golden Globes being virtual. We're looking forward to the Grammys being virtual. We're not going to see red carpet fashion. So how can we relate that to the fact that this is not what we're used to? So
that's an interesting question, because COVID came and hit people by storm. So people had to just take a check and realign or re-strategize. So I would say now people are kind of used to it, and people are getting back on track to think ahead of the game. And you will find that most award shows that happened, the celebrities still had to take photos. The celebrities still had to show up like, this is what I would have worn to the event. And again, we have COVID sensitive events right now where you have people in maybe virtual boxes that are hosting or presenting, etc. So in a way, the red carpet feel is still there, but in a very small proportion. You wouldn't have a lot of people in a place, but you will still have people that would be called. They could call, Kachi, could you host this? You would definitely need to go to those designers and get your red dress, red carpet outfit.
I mean, I wouldn't get as much attention, but...
Yeah, you wouldn't, but trust me, there are millions now who are glued to their TV looking to see what you would wear as the host. So in a way, it still factors in a little bit, but obviously not at the scale it would have been if we didn't have a pandemic on our hands. So, like I said, I think it's just... we just have to wing it,
We do, right?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
So give us an idea. We haven't seen a lot of trends. I to be honest, fashion has been incredibly boring for me since this pandemic started. Because it's like, you usually would go out and you would see people wearing all sorts of things, you get travel. But now you really don't see any of that. So real quick, before I let you, give us a couple of trends. What's in vogue now? COVID style fashion.
Oh my goodness. So COVID style fashion, you would see like a lot of sneakers. People are dumping their heels because
I need to, okay.
So you find a lot of sneaks coming out. You find a lot of like platform shoes, like the flat platforms. You see a lot of joggers that are now made to wear out. So where you have the normal sweatpants joggers, you have faux leather joggers, you have leather joggers that you can dress up with a blazer. But that's like a casual outfit, but they've dressed it up because people are, adapting and modifying. You see lots of sweatshirts with hoodies that are worn in your blazer. So there's still that.
How do you
yeah, it's beautiful. Like, you wear and you just tuck out the hoodie outside your blazer, and you still have that cash but formal look going on. So there's a little bit of a mix of a blend with casual and formal. So there's a lot of blazers coming out. There's a lot of jackets. There's a lot of shackets. It's like it's like a shirt and a jacket. So yeah, things like that. So just a mix, a blend, formal, casual. That's what we're going.
You know what? We're definitely going to be doing some practical lessons on the COVID style fashion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, for now, we are going to be wrapping this interview with that interesting video. I think it's safe to say we should see you once again.
What? Yeah. 5 ways to style one jumpsuit. Yeah. I'ma show you how. Let's go. Yeah. Check it, it's your girl with your dose of style inspiration. Get your notes out for some good education. 5 out of 1, no regular calculation. But stay with me and you will get the goal.